fit, new watch, fresh kicks.
Hey guys, I know it's been a while since my last upload. In my last video, I showed my flight and my move from the Philippines to New York. And a lot of you had a lot of questions. Most of you wanted to know, what is my visa? What am I doing here in New York? How did I get a company to hire me? How long did it take to process everything? How I found an apartment? And what are the costs of everything? So I made this video to answer all of those general questions. So disclaimer, real quick before I begin the Q&A, I am not a travel agent. I am not an immigration lawyer. I am not an immigration expert. I am simply sharing my experience and my story just to give you guys some ideas and to answer all of your questions. So on to the Q&A. Question number 1, what is my visa? So I actually mentioned in my last video that I got a J1 visa. It is an exchange visitor visa and falls under the non-immigrant category. Some J1 non-immigrants enter the United States specifically to work, while others do not. Employment is authorized for J1 non-immigrants only under the terms of the exchange program. So for my visa, I am in the trainee program and I am authorized to work full-time, 8 hours per day, Monday to Friday, only in my host company. The maximum duration of stay for a J1 trainee is 18 months. Different occupations have different durations of stay. For example, medical graduates can stay up to 7 years, teachers can stay up to 5 years, whereas business and industrial trainees, such as myself, can stay only up to 18 months per visa. So I have a J1 trainee visa, but before I got to the United States and before I got the visa, I first needed a host company and a visa sponsor, which brings us to the next big question. So how did I find a company in New York to give me this paid training opportunity? And how was all of the paperwork and visa processed? It seems like a very complicated process. So where did I start? I have always wanted to gain some experience abroad, so I did a lot of research and I asked a lot of my friends who were able to go out of the country, after which I decided to use an agency. So the agency that I used is stageusa.com. If you go through an agency, they will help you find a company and they will also help you with the visa sponsorship process. There are many different agencies and organizations out there that provide this placement service. The one that I used is stageusa.com. Some of my other J1 friends here in New York used CETUSA, and you can also check out CICD.com. I have linked all of these websites below, so if you are curious, check them out and do further research. So I used Stage USA, and they offer different kinds of programs for J1s, such as interns, trainee, au pair, and OPT job programs. So I applied on their website. After that, they sent me an email to schedule an interview. And in the interview, they will check if you are eligible for this program. For me, a J1 trainee, the requirement was at least a bachelor's degree and 1 year of relevant work experience. In their website, you can find the fees and how much the estimated salary is for J1 trainees in the USA. Let me know if you want me to do a more detailed video on the placement agency and the whole process. Question number 3. How much time does it take to process all of this? It takes an average of about 4 to 6 months, depending on your agency and the embassy in your country. Half of the time is finding a company and getting interviewed, and then the other half is applying for the J1 visa. Question number 5, how did I find a place to stay? It is quite expensive to rent in New York, so if you have family or family friends that you can live with, that is the first best option. But if you are like me and you came here with no family or family friends, you will have to rent an apartment or rent a room in a shared apartment.
The cost of a room across all 5 boroughs of New York City depends on your proximity to Manhattan, and the range can go anywhere from $600 to $2,000 for a room. I was able to find a room on the cheaper side by looking for sublets on Facebook groups.
So I found my room on Filipinos of NY, but you can also check out these other groups if you are looking for a room in a shared apartment. These types that you can find on Facebook or sublet websites are usually cash basis and don't have a lease. This is ideal if you just arrived and you still want to check other areas before committing to a long-term lease. Question number 6, how long am I staying here in New York and in the United States? I am staying for 18 months and then I will be going back to the Philippines and living there for 2 years before I come back to the United States. And that's it for today's video. If you guys have any questions, leave them down below and I will try to answer them when I can. Leave a comment down below, and if you want to, subscribe. Sige, okay na, Mark. Okay na to.